we have it, guys. What's poppin'? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you dig it? Gibsunday. That is what is up right now. Gibsunday, baby. Get my tones changed here. I had a flanger going on there. The wonderful Gibsunday. Howdy, howdy, howdy. It's like Chapman and Solar. I have not. Well, actually, I have played a Solar, very briefly. I've never plugged one in, but the necks felt really good on them. And you know, I haven't played a Chapman in quite a few years, so I wouldn't be able to speak so much of their recent, quality or anything like that. I figured most people were probably watching Pete Thornton's live stream. I was watching his too. I was waiting. I started to go live at around 3. I was like, oh shoot, Pete's live. So I waited. Rob, I'm currently not offering them, unfortunately. But I was like, I'll wait. And I thought, yeah. I was waiting because I was like, Pete normally will go like, between 1 and 2 hours. So I was like, well, I'll wait till 4. But he was still going, and I was like, I just got to do it. Alex, I'll have to check one out, man. Praxel! Yes, as I was leaving, as I was like, hey, I gotta head out, guys. I saw that, your name popped up in the chat right above or under mine. It is listed on my website, but if you click on the link on my website, it says on there that I'm currently not accepting any students. Is the Les Paul your favorite guitar? No, as far as like body design or anything like that, definitely not. I like my Tobacco Burst Les Paul is the favorite guitar I own, but that's because it gets more into like sentimental reasons. Oh, hey David, thank you so much for the super chat, man. What are your thoughts on Reverends? You know what? I haven't played many of them, but they're actually here in Ohio. So there's a really cool event coming up next month called Guitar Fest, and I know that they will be there, and I want to use that time to actually try a bunch of their guitars out. Tony, what's happening, man? How are you doing? What time is the giveaway? The giveaway ended yesterday at midnight, and I've already posted the winner on Instagram and in like my Instagram stories. So it's been posted twice. Nick Hooper. No, I have not, unfortunately. Michigan in the house. Hello. I always read that as like the Seinfeld. Hello. Big Red Tower. People are still salty. Oh man, you know what? I'll say usually people have been pretty good about giveaways. This was the worst for people being upset. And some people were initially upset at how I responded to some of the people because like I feel like I'm a simple guy. It's like I don't really get whining and complaining about stuff. It was a free giveaway, but some of them would just be like, "Good, now I can unfollow you," and I was like, "Good, well then I'll block you. That way you can never enter another giveaway again." And it's not. It's just like those are the kind of people that I don't want to be involved in stuff like this. And the way that I looked at it was, I think Dan Electro has given away. This is the 3rd guitar, and they've given away pedals and stuff on here. So when they asked me about doing it, they're like, "Could we do this as an Instagram giveaway?" And I was like, "Of course." I feel like they've been extremely generous to me and to our to us as a channel with giving guitars away. So whenever they were like, "Could we do this as an Instagram one?" I was like, "Sure." I know some people will be upset because they don't have Instagram, but it'll still be a free guitar to someone. So for me to like turn something down like that, I felt would be kind of silly. and affect you guys a lot more than anything else. So yeah, but you know, I mean, some people are just going to be upset, and that's just the way that it is, unfortunately. Oh, Jamie Belong, thank you for the super chat. What is the difference in P90s, single coils, and humbuckers? Well, a humbucker, uh, P90s are actually single coils. They're an overwound, so they're like a hot single coil essentially. So they're even noisier typically than a normal single coil is. And a humbucker um, is basically I don't know like the technical side of it, but a humbucker is I believe two coils, and that cancels the hum out from itself. Showman Blues. You hit the nail on the head, man. That's why I'm like, it's a free guitar that you can enter for free. So I have an acoustic guitar right there. It's a fairly inexpensive Seagull. I'm not an acoustic guy, so you know, I've never really kind of went down that road of getting a nice one. I look a little tired. I'm actually. It's funny. I woke up today. I felt actually pretty good and awake. But I woke up at like 7:30 because that's just I usually get up around 7:30, and I'm just like, no, I'm going back to sleep. I'm like, I get to sleep in today. Like, son doesn't have school, and so I actually went back to sleep and then got up at around like 8:30 or something like that. But Chris, all your guitars are nice. Well, thank you very much, man. I was actually I gotta wait and see. You know, you'll probably see a post from me about it if you guys are interested in it. It's been going around on a lot of YouTube channels. The Tins guitars, I think you heard of them. Fluff just did a video about them. They look really cool. They're fairly inexpensive Chinese-made guitars, and I saw they just sent me a message on Facebook asking if I wanted to check one out, and I probably won't. But I always like to see what you guys, you know, think about if you're interested in seeing them, because there's already been 4 or 5 YouTubers who did videos on them, so I don't really know what new kind of information I could bring to the table, essentially. Do you have any thoughts on the new Gibsons? Just recently got a 2018 Gibson. Oh, tribute. I don't get why people are hating on Gibson so much. You know, I think that the reason, one of the reasons why Gibson gets so much hate nowadays, more than they ever did before, is just because of how, you know, how far along the internet and stuff is. I mean, just being honest, and think of like what are the biggest brands? Gibson and Fender. So the two most popular ones to talk about are going to be Gibson and Fender. So of course, anybody who has any kind of issue with Gibson, and I'm not associated with Gibson at all. I did meet with those guys at NAMM because of my buddy, but I'm not actually doing anything with them. But anyways, back to the topic is I think that, you know, people like to kind of post and make sure that, you know, whatever the post is gets the most traffic. If it's a, you know, a guitar with a flaw in it of some kind and something like that, and it's, you know, I think that's where a lot of the hate probably comes from. You know, if you think like back in the day, before it was so, you know, accessible for people to post the stuff, I think it just kind of picks up and gets traction and stuff like that. But I haven't played any newer Gibsons, I'm afraid, so I can't like speak too much on them. But I know the ones that I have. Oh, actually, I had a 2018 SG, and I thought it was great. You know, it just wasn't for me. I've only ever played a couple of Godins. I played an electric. I believe it was an electric, not too long ago, and it was surprisingly nice. Would you get one of the Jimmy Page signature toys? Probably not. I mean, like, if they were more affordable, maybe. But, you know, just being a Jimmy Page nut, that would be the only reason I would want one. On what to avoid? Buying your first electric guitar. I actually have a video you might want to watch, and it's just my total opinion about this stuff. But I just said guitars you want to avoid as a beginner, and I talk about a lot of that stuff. So I think the starter kit guitars, the ones that are in the boxes, typically aren't the best because they're not really going to come set up. Maybe ask the store as part of, if you're buying it, be like, well, we'd like to get this set up if you're buying something else and all that kind of stuff. So I think that can help a bunch if you get the guitar set up. But like you can get like the Squier Classic vibes. I think those are really good. And what else? Like Mexi. It depends on how much you want to spend, to be honest. I mean, and headless guitars. But curious if you tried a Strandberg. I have tried those, and what's the elliptical neck, whatever it is. I personally did not like that. Didn't like the neck. That was one of the bigger things that, aside from aesthetically just looking at it, it wasn't real appealing to me. I didn't care for the neck, I think it's something you have to get used to. Yeah, definitely good to have your guitar set up professionally. Yeah, I think the Harley Benton stuff was great. Oh. Nope. Looks for first guitar, go for feel and sound. You know what? I actually am kind of in the opposite camp about that with your first guitar. Just because I feel like as a beginner, you don't really know what sounds good yet or what feels good. At least this is just my experience. I went for guitars that I just liked the way they looked. To be honest, that was 100% what my grading scale was. I was like, I like the way that one looks. And then as I got a little bit older and more experienced, I could kind of conclude, oh, I like strats. I like strat styles more than I like single cut style, stuff like that. Start playing guitar with a Jackson. Yeah, that's probably going to have a Floyd Rose on it, which I think is a little bit tougher. But, if you look up videos on it now and stuff about that, it's pretty easy to do that stuff. Even having Floyd Roses all these years, I dread messing with them. You don't see, Tony's got it. You don't know what you don't know yet. Exactly. That's why it's always so fun and comical to look back at. Like, what was your first guitar rig? Like I said, mine was an old Fender FMR 2x12 with a death metal distortion pedal. And now I've heard of them, and I don't care for the sound, but it's like, back then I just wanted distortion. That was all I knew, was like just gain on 10. I've never had a guitar with Kahlers. They seem interesting, though. I don't know if I've ever even played a guitar with a Kahler on it. They're really uncommon. I also wanted a BC Rich Warlock when I was younger. Thankfully, I didn't get that. I got a Strat. What guitar am I holding? So this is my my Gold Top. So this is my 89, just standard Gold Top. Nothing too crazy about it. Done a couple things which might hurt the finish, but this is a guitar. Other than if I needed to for some reason sell, I'll never get rid of this one. So I've done a couple things to it. It is there's some cracking on it. This was definitely like a gigging guitar. Whoever owned this before me, thankfully the frets up here are in really good shape. That's why I always say, I'm pretty sure this was like a rhythm guitar player, and not only because of the wear on the frets, but also, I mean, rhythm guys tend to move around a lot more than a lot of lead guys because The lead guys, you know, usually, except for like the, you know, amazing guys like Eddie Van Halen and stuff like that, typically you stop moving and you sit still while you're playing a solo because you're like focused. But it's got some, you know, some buckle rash on it back here. And then, I don't think you guys can see it. It's starting to green right here, which is what I love on a gold top. And then it's pretty cracked here. But anyways, the pickguard kind of moved in a weird way, like it would make this popping sound when my fingers would hit it. So what I did was I stuck, you can see right there, which might hurt the finish, I don't know. Probably will. I took one of the feet that come with like a new pedal, and I put it on the thing here so it doesn't make that popping sound, because I just hated the way it sounded and moved when my fingers would hit it. And it's not resting on the body. It only happens when my hands hit it that it pushes it against the body. But like I said, this is a guitar I'm pretty much, you know, never going to get rid of. No, not gum. The little like feet that come with your guitar pedals is what I put in there. Strings do you rock on your Les Paul? On pretty much all of my guitars, man. They're pretty high string. I like to be able to really grab them. You know, I feel like a lot of my playing is based around bending. Except that time I was like totally out of key. That's the other part of my playing. That nice out of key sound. Oh look, I can do that. That's funny. Your songs are on Amazon Music. Nice. I honestly, like, I did them with DistroKid, and it, like, lists, like, we're going to put your music on, like, 40 different websites, and I'm like, I don't even know. But go ahead. Guitar with a little age, it's cool. Guitar if it's been played a bit. Yeah, you know, that's what I feel like. You know, it's been played and loved on, and you know, it's a little bit beat up. It's an 89er just like me, so you know, I'm a little beat up too. It's a good tube amp combo. I don't know much about combo amps, to be honest, you know, to recommend one. I don't think I'm educated enough. Do I like coated strings? Well, I use Cleartone strings, which are treated strings, so they're kind of coated, I guess. I don't know what the technical term is. But adjusting crossroads. Hey, Gary, I know nothing about that, buddy. I'm sorry. So helpful all the time, right? I always snap my strings when bending. That could be a couple of different things, man. You could have a burr in your saddle down here. I'd make sure that there's not... Sometimes you can't even see them. You just have to take a file and just, like, do, like, one swipe of it. Don't, like, dig in too far or anything like that. But you could have a burr on your actual bridge saddle or a burr on one of your frets or something like that if you had, like, a fret dressing and maybe they didn't crown it right or something like that. I've had that happen before where I haven't had it on the actual frets, but I did have a bridge that I kept breaking my high E string all of a sudden. I'm like, I don't understand, man. I'm pretty rough with bends, but I'm not breaking strings all the time, you know. And that was what it was. Here's some blues on this bad mamma jamma. Well, here, let me give you guys some better audio. And I don't know how well I can blues you, but I guess we're cruising for a bluesin'. the best playing, but it's something. The D20, that is an amazing amp. I'm very excited to get a loan or one of those and probably eventually get one. Yeah, I got to spend basically a few days before NAMM with one. I flew, Revv had me come out a couple days early, and I did some videos with them. And and just honest opinion, I think that was the most impressive thing that came out at NAMM. I am a Revv artist, and you know, just being honest and trying to put all bias aside, I just think it was the most impressive new thing that came out. I don't know you Frampton. Ever use both pickups? I never see anyone. That's how you get that Jimmy Page sound, you know? That is the quintessential Jimmy Page, which I actually don't like that sound. Steve I plays with no emotion or feel. Oh no, I think he totally has a lot of like feel in his playing. He just has a different kind. You know, Steve has Steve I 100% has a Steve I feel. I don't really know anybody who sounds like him. Me, there we go. Oh, nope, that messed everything up. Paul Gilbert, I love Paul Gilbert. Every Fender noiseless. I've tried a couple of noiseless pickups, and I didn't care for them. I don't know if that's just me being like tone snobby, and I'm like I want to hear a different, so I'm false hearing something. Totally could be, but it was weird. It was like they sounded good. But it was like I couldn't put my finger on what was the difference of like a normal pickup. It was just like they sounded like dead almost. Like it's weird. So it's kind of like a strange situation because I'm hearing like the tone is good. I'm like, but it's just something like I think maybe it was a feel thing, but who knows in a blind test if I could even tell the difference. Like I said, it's hard. I think we hear a lot with our eyes, if that makes sense. And, you know, we hear a lot with our knowledge of like, oh, that's this. Oh, orange amps are very good. Number one influence, I think Eddie Van Halen, for sure. There's no one like you. I can't wait for the nights with you. Any collabs coming up? Brian, I finally got around to doing my Vintage T demo. And Brian Wampler got a Vintage T, but his has a bender in it, and it's like a more traditional telly. And I asked him, he did a little solo in there for me. So I guess that's the next collab that you guys will see. I have something kind of in the works with Daryl Braun. And I was just talking to Jared Dines about, you know, if he'd be down to do something I have. And I was just asking Fluff if he would want to, like, hop on a live stream sometime. I'm sure me and him will do something at one point. Why did I first pick up guitar? I heard Hot for Teacher, and I didn't know what that, you know... didn't understand what that... Well, it just sounded cool, and I was like, oh, that's guitar, you know. And that's Eddie Van Halen. So that's kind of what led me to playing guitar. Hot dog. I can't remember how to play that one. That's a hard song to play. Want to send me all of your guitars? Sure. What's your address, man? How do I feel about the new Strat Acoustic? I I don't dig them. I'll be honest. If I play an acoustic, I want it to look like an acoustic. If I play a Strat, I want it to look like a Strat, you know? So, I'm just playing through the Axe effects today. Yeah, I wanted delay, and I wanted some, that flanger. If you saw the beginning of the stream, I had a flanger on. So I just used the Axe effects for that kind of stuff. Going to do a riff wars with Fluff. Fluff asked me about that in his live stream and stuff like that. But, you know, that stuff's always up to him, up to those guys, you know. That has nothing to do with me. I feel like I'm pretty easy to work with. whenever someone asks me, I'm like, sure. Play anything. I wanted to look like a Strat, Carrie. Just subscribe. Welcome, Carl. Hello. You know what? Fluff is, in fact, awesome. I love Fluff. So, oh, well, thank you, Daryl. Neil, man, all you guys are here. Eagle song? Favorite, definitely. Life in the fast lane. Surely make you lose your mind. Braxel, I don't know yet. We're still working on it. Satch, Mama Machine, or video? I'd probably go Vi. I'd probably go Mama Machine, Vi, Satch, video. Robert. Or it could be Brobert. What's up, bro? I'm not a big Dream Theater fan, so no, I haven't heard it yet, but I'm sure I'll cross paths with it at one point. Latest Tim Pierce video with Ray Parker Jr. That guy is fantastic. Hey, Ron, I did not yet. I saw he posted it, and I was like, I'm gonna watch that. But yeah, no, Ray is just a great musician. Ever heard of Firehouse? Of course. What was it? Find the love of a lifetime. Barack Devil says, I love you. Well, guess what? I love you. What was it? I haven't know how to play anymore. I had to play the wedding march at a wedding one time on guitar. Tone hair, it's catching on. Totes the tone hair. Some CCR, I'll flip it over. I'll do some jamming for you. You guys can throw out some songs if you want to. There we go. I'm like, I lost my screen. I couldn't flip the mic back. The new member song. I can't play it though. Only if there's a new member. Johnny be good. What? Oh snap, Alex! New member time. I don't actually remember what the original intro lick was. It's new every time. For the new member. Dude, thank you so much, Alex. And play the intro. So the intro is actually, it's just one arpeggio. Thank you again, Alex. That's all the intro is. Consider the membership. See members only perks. Click to support. Oh, thank you, man. There you have it. So you have that's all the intro is. It's just I harmonize it, you know. So I harmonize it. That's all the intro is. So that is the whole kit and caboodle. Gibsunday, baby! Would you do for the name? I don't know, man. The moment has to arrive. Not sure what that comment just said. Did you meet Mile Bradley at NAMM? I did not. No, I'm afraid to say I didn't. Do I like to play acoustic? I do like acoustic. It's just, you know, I think I'm just a rock and roll kind of guy, man. I love distortion, electric guitar. First time I pick up a guitar, I'd probably just go like this. Probably that. Something simple. Black Dog. Hey, mama said the way you move, gonna make you sweat, gonna make you move. Sorry, I'll stop singing right now. First song I ever learned fully was Kryptonite by Three Doors Down. Yep. Jason from Canada, what's up, man? Yeah, that's definitely the first song. Sorry, I'm trying to get this off here. That's the first song I ever learned all the way through, because I could play all the parts. That B minor was brutal to get down. Also, Alex, you get exclusive emojis like the Golden Girl and Macho Man emoji. Because then they... There we go. Do 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 do. Eventually, a Pantene and Bob Ross emoji coming soon. I just have delay and reverb on, distortion. Wait, never had a chance to love you. Now I only want to say I love you one more time. Wait. I don't know, actually, the rest of the words. So if you go away, you know that I will follow. Such a killer song. SKYPE is coming back soon? Not at the moment, I'm afraid. I don't know exactly when they will be back. The biggest issue is just like scheduling and stuff like that right now for me. What amp do I use right now? I'm using my Axe Effects. I use quite a few different ones, to be honest. Different Revs, Friedman's, Orange. I have my Marshall over here. Thank you. Ask the same question. Have you seen Spinal Tap? Only 1,000 times, man. It's one of my favorite movies. What concerts am I seeing this year? I want to go see John Mayer, probably. I know Jerry James Nicholas is coming through with John 5, I believe. I'd like to go see him. And, I don't have too many planned. Were you part of the Crazy Marshall on 10 test? Yeah, I was. I was in that room for like 4 or 5 of them. It was awesome. That was definitely the coolest video of GitCon, in my opinion. Pete definitely did a really good video. Hearts back together. Nice. Do I like Iron Maiden? I do like Iron Maiden. I think they are fantastic. Fantastic. What do you think about Slash? Slash, what a legend. I love his riffs and kind of the whole deal, isn't he? I don't know if I remember how to play Bad Boys. I think it's tuned down. Can't remember how to play it. Man, it's been a long time since I played that one. Jasco Plumbing Supply. Oh, you rock, bro. Thank you. Oh, dude, thank you so much for the super chat, man. It's very generous of you. Thanks for all. Well, thank you to all of you guys for all that you do. Thoughts on the aux? You know, I have yet to try one in person, to be honest. But at the same time, you know, I'm very happy with my two note stuff. So I tend to go along the lines of, you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So that's like my aspects. I haven't updated it in years because I'm just like, I don't know. It sounds really good the way that it is. Do I want it to sound, you know, quote unquote better, or am I happy with it? You know, I think if you get to where you're not happy with something, then, you know, seeking out a new product is definitely the route to go. But if I'm happy with it, I'm like, I don't know. You know, I'm not really hunting for anything. I would like to try one just to kind of see what it's about. I've heard good things. You're high pitched Ohio, yeah. Your voice cracks. I do like the new Whitesnake, yeah. As far as like newer Whitesnake is, I love the Good to Be Bad album. I think is what it was called. Might have been the last one that Aldridge was on, or maybe no, that was he did one more after that. But yeah. Sandra, welcome. David Guitar Madman. Hello. Asking because I love your guitar style. Well, thank you very much, man. You know, Eddie Van Halen's probably like my all-time idol, but there's a lot of other guys. Nuno is definitely in there. Paul Gilbert, you know, Richie Kotzen, Eric Johnson, Stevie Ray Vaughan. So many of them. We just kind of all, you know, take little things from each one. Pete just finished his live stream. Nice. Yeah, I was waiting as long as I could to not kind of be streaming at the same time as Pete. How's it? It is going great. It's Gibsunday, man. Always good. Size pedal board? I don't have that figured out yet, to be honest, man. I keep adding stuff. Music therapy. Hey! Thank you, dude. Yeah, Pete is the man. I'm gonna switch. Yeah, go for like 9 more minutes. I'm gonna go to other Les Paul. Cause it's Gibsunday. Hey. Oh, I'm smacking my guitar around. Sunday fun day, man. You know what? That's like the 3rd time I've heard that today. Such a tone difference. It's funny. Just those P90s are so much lower output. There we go. Brad Miller. Hey, Amanda made it. Love the finish. I do too. You know, it's kind of the 70s. I love the 70s Les Pauls, man. Just the maple necks, the whole thing. Who won the Dead Electro? That was Taylor? Was it Taylor or Tyler? I posted it on Instagram. Close it over. So your own intro music? Was it? Maybe it was. Brad Miller. Brad Miller. Brad Miller. Brad Miller. That's gonna be stuck in my head all day now. Hey, Ben! fellow tone hair member. You're right, Lionheart. It's catching on. So I'll let you guys hear this one here for a Munimento before we wrap things up. Fast lick I can play. Right there, just happened. I'll let you hear this guitar with the tones. If you were here in the P90s. This is my normal studio. You're just seeing it from the other side of the room. So you're seeing what's normally behind the camera, and I'm facing the other way. The Gibson SG. I'll probably never own another SG, to be honest. I had an SG for a little while, and I did sell it. And I just didn't really bond with it. Scott, what's happening, man? I'm not a huge Peter Frampton fan, to be honest, man. And I'm sure those tickets are like really expensive. Much Guns N' Roses, unfortunately. Speakers. I use my Yamaha HS7s, but I do want to upgrade them to HS8s, or just get some kind of 8-inch speaker. I think with this room's a little bit bigger. Excuse me. This room's a little bit bigger than my old studio from a few years ago, and I think it can, bigger speakers wouldn't be a bad idea. More is more, right? Thoughts on the Matt Heafy Epiphone? Is that the white one that Jared just got? I thought it was pretty cool. It made me think of the Snow Falcon. It came out a little while back. What did it say? Gotta go. Oh, thank you so much, man, for tuning in. Need some Barefoot monitors. I haven't heard of them. Candlebox, of course. Rush. Revv guys. Excited to see me order, but this basically made it so. Oh, thank you. Yeah, man. You know, it was kind of it was really weird. You know, to leave. I'd been there for 5 or 6 years. I think we lived there. Hey, Mark. What's up, man? Can you elaborate on the Friedman classic tonal difference, fourth and fifth positions? Yeah. Well, I guess what I was kind of when we were talking over on Pete's live stream, what I was meaning was just between those two guitars, they sounded very different. Um, you know, the maple fingerboard with the Shoreline Gold Strat had like a real like sparkly kind of like spanky, probably more typically what people think of when they think of a Strat. And I'll tell you what, man, that three-tone burst had this super thick and like fat sound to it. It was crazy, and it's you know, I loved that guitar. I was really really sad to send those guitars back. I want to get a vintage S, but I want to wait because what I want to do is I actually want to film it being made essentially. You know, so if the time comes and all that kind of stuff, what I'd really like to do is to be able to, you know, be involved with it more so than just ordering a guitar to kind of show you guys some of the behind the scenes stuff. So we'll just have to see what, you know, that's down the road, quite a ways from now. But maybe if that ever, you know, comes to be, that's what I would like to do. I have to talk to them, of course. Listen, by Dire Straits. I do not know that one. I don't know too many Dire Straits songs, I'm afraid. How's it? Can't remember it. Love to watch Grover build a guitar. Same here, you know, what I would like to do, again, this is all just brainstorming ideas. I don't know if they would ever be down with it, or if Grover would even be down with it, because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, even though I would be ordering the guitar, he, you know, he still has his stamp of approval needed on it before he's okay with it. And what I think would be cool is if, basically, if Grover picked out, you know, the wood, essentially would say for like 3 guitars that he liked, that he thought was okay, for 3 different guitars of whatever the woods that I wanted it to be. And then I would pick which one actually gets used. You know, so this way Grover still is getting his stamp of approval on, he's like, I think that, you know, these woods are okay for guitars. I would then pick of those 3 the one that I'm like, I don't know, I want this one for some reason, you know, and then be like, okay, you know, and then kind of go from there. But there's a couple of things that I want that are a little bit different about it. Engage, do you prefer? I use 10 to 42 or 10 to 46. Sorry. I've never played a Firebird. I've never actually seen one, to be honest, in person. Just pictures, of course. Chat, been listening since you started, now sitting down playing guitar. Nice. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Tell us what you'd like to do. So basically, the guitar that I want to do is I'd want it to be a hardtail for one, not any kind of tremolo system, because I think that that does kind of affect your tone quite a bit. And I don't know if I would want a humbucker or a different pickup in the bridge, you know. But I definitely want it to be a hardtail style Strat, and I would maybe want to go rosewood fingerboard on it. Because I feel like that was part of why that 3-tone burst vintage S that I had sounded so good. You know, any chance of a collab with Cameron Cooper? Yeah, maybe at some point, man. But Cleartone Strings last longer in your opinion? You know, I honestly I couldn't tell you because I leave strings on my guitars forever. So, and I've only been using Cleartone now for quite a few years, so I would have to like try it, you know, comparatively to something else that I would play at the same amount of time. Now, you know, to give you an honest answer because it's just been so long. But channels do you like watching the most? I love watching Paul Davids, Rick Beato, of course Fluff, Sean Tubbs, Doug Rappaport, all those guys, Pete Thorne. You know, you name it, Rob Scallon. I like all that stuff. Side pull vibrato system. I've never even heard of that. Bigsby Bridge? Nah. No kind of tremolo. Good point, Brad. Any White Line songs? No, I know like the beginning of Hungry. Baby, why you look so down? Something like that. I don't know what it actually says. But yeah, I'm gonna hop off here as well. I see a couple of you guys need to head out. Thank you guys all for tuning in. You know, this week I think we did 2 or 3 live streams, so I appreciate you all wanting to hang out and rock out with me. If you haven't checked yet, like I said, yeah, I just posted that vintage S video. I actually shot that video back in January 15th, I think, is when I shot that. And so my hair's a lot longer in that video. But a lot of fun. And when I was editing it, like hearing those guitars again, I was like, ugh, I really want a vintage S now. But it's like, how Friedmaned out can you be? And the answer is never. So have a great rest of your Sunday, guys. Have a good, if you got a Gibson, rock it out, man. Gibsunday. If you got a Strat, be a rebel. Straturday it up on a Sunday. And just play whatever you got, man, as long as you're playing. So have a great night. Alex, thank you for joining the membership thing. We will be back tomorrow with videos, and then hopefully a live stream at some point next week, and another giveaway real soon. So I'll see you all on the flippity flop later. Peace out, guys, and yo, we out here.